My name is George Sullivan and I'm the chairman of the Kenmare Gangs of New York Gathering Festival. I guess the idea from the festival started about a year and a half ago when we were coming up with ideas for how we would work the gathering into Kenmare, and one thing we seized upon was the remarkable historical story of Kenmare and the Lansdowne Estate, and one pretty major event that happened 160 years ago. That was a famine immigration program started by the agent to the local landlord. The local landlord was Lord Lansdowne. His family had been in Kenmare for hundreds of years. They came over with the Cromwellian invasion, and that landlord had an agent by the name of William Stewart Trench who was managing his estate in Kenmare for him. W.S. Trench instituted this famine assistance program whereby, in exchange for giving up your holdings, the people of Kenmare, Lauragh, Tuosist, Bonane and outlying areas of the estate were offered the price of passage to the New World, either Quebec in Canada or New York. Now, 5,000 people took them up on their offer and left the Kenmare area over the next 10 to 15 years. So we've had people who've come from Toronto, who've come from Chicago, who've come from the United States and who've come from England over the last day or two to find out exactly where their families left from. And successfully we've managed to link some of them with it. We've a Kerry Genealogy Roadshow here today as part of the festival, and we also have Rachel Foley, who is a professional genealogist who we've commissioned to carry out research work with Griffith's land valuation and the records from the Emigrant Bank of New York, which is the bank that they would all have opened bank accounts for as soon as they started working and trying to improve their lives in the 5 Points in New York. The other link, I guess, to the festival is the movie which we showed last night. It's called The Gangs of New York. It stars Daniel Day-Lewis, and essentially that story was the story of the Irish arriving off the immigrant ships, the famine ships, trying to carve out a piece of America for themselves. We've had a load of fantastic events. We screened a film last night. We had an art exhibition. Local students came up with works of art to reflect the theme of the festival, which is Triumph Over Adversity. We've had historical walking tours of the town today for some of our visitors. We're having a screening of an excellent documentary about the Lansdowne Estate in Kenmare called Land is Gold by Sean Morda of RB Films. That was made in 2005. We're screening it again this evening in the Carnegie at 7 o'clock. We're officially unveiling the plaque you see here in the famine pot from the time at 8:15, and we have a historical lecture with Gerard Lyne, a man hugely responsible for telling the story in the first place through his book The Lansdowne Estate under W.S. Trench. So he's going to be speaking at the lecture, and also we've got Professor Kevin Whelan, who is from the Notre Dame O'Connell House in Dublin. He's the director of Notre Dame's Irish wing of its university, and he's going to be talking about the importance of reconnecting with the diaspora in New York. So that actually is at capacity. We're fully booked for that tonight, which we're kind of surprised at. We originally had hoped to hold it here in the courthouse, but when we got the huge number of interest, we've got 150 people already booked for that tonight. So that's taking place at 9 o'clock. Then tomorrow we've a special famine mass in the Holy Cross Church in Kenmare. Father Tom Crean is going to be speaking directly about the famine times and about the history of the Lansdowne Estate as part of the mass. We're unveiling a special plaque at Kenmare Hospital, which was the original site of the workhouse. Then after that we're taking a trip out. The final event of the festival is a trip to Doreen Gardens, which is the stately home and gardens of the Lansdowne family when they did come back every summer. They were sort of absentee landlords because they were so important in the politics of England at the time, and that'll be the final event in our Kenmare Gangs of New York gathering. So the idea was to tell the story and learn more about the history of it, and we hope we've achieved that with the festival that we have organised for today.